they left, this reaction makes them fight for you. Now, in this video, you will discover exactly what to do and why to do it. That actually is proven over and over, that will shift the alchemy between the two of you and makes you highly attractive to him again. Now, I really see this to be a video for women who usually give their power away, so also help you to come back into your power and into your secure nervous system. Hey, I'm Antia, founder and creator of the Magnetize Your Man method. And look, this is the channel where we magnetize your man so that the man you want, desires, and most importantly, pursues you forever. Of course, if you love this video, like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends for more juicy videos coming your way. So let's go ahead and dive right into now what to do to get him back if he left. So here's what happened. The reason why he left is because you gave all your power away. You made him the source of your happiness, right? So you were actually giving him an unconscious resume, so to say, to leave you because you were leaving yourself. Now, I ask my women all the time, right, when they're being abandoned, when they're being left, right, like, when did you leave yourself? When did you start selling out on your truth, on your opinion, on your ideals, on your integrity, right? So you really want to see, okay, so when did that happen? Did that happen in the first week when you met him? And you were saying you're available even though you are not, but now you had to cancel like a date with your girlfriends, right? Or you had to leave work early or whatever it is, right? But you were not able to stay in alignment fully in order to meet him, right? Or was it because now you're spending so much time obsessing over him, stalking him on social media, wondering, doubting, questioning yourself, right? And not even showing up emotionally authentically. You see, what happens is a certain distrust builds when you not show up authentically. When you do something when a man is saying, she should be angry right now. She should be rage monster-like right now. Oh, that's really sad, the story she just shared. But she laughed instead. Like, I'm confused, right? So if you send those mixed signals, the confused mind says no. Because the man is saying, okay, well, so either I'm wrong, so I got this all wrong, I'm totally not connected with her, I'm totally not picking up on anything. And that would then also, of course, trigger his insecurity inside of himself. Or he's saying, I'm sure this was something to be said about, but she laughed. And so now I don't trust her because what is she hiding? Now, what we actually see in the research is that men are not actually worried so much about, like, if you're insecure, if you're this or that, if you what emotions you have, but they do care about when they sense that you're trying to hide it. Because they're saying, wait a minute, why does she have such a why does she have such a negative relationship to that part inside of herself that they already know is like a normal part in the relationship, right? It's like a normal part inside of yourself because maybe they encountered that as well, especially if they're more a secure attachment style. So what you actually want to learn is how to focus on yourself, right? How to actually move away from the other focusedness that you have learned from your childhood, that you have learned because your parents were not responding to you in the way you desired to, in the way that you needed to, right? You were helpless, you were powerless. You were hoping for your parents to pick you up. You were hoping that your parents would feed you on time, right? Like, that they would give you the affection that you needed, right? That they would welcome you with loving words. But instead, you were maybe met with disapproval, with apathy, with dismissal. And then what happens is you say, you know what? Let me create a strategy that they still like me because I really depend on their approval. So you start start to make the other person happy because you realize, oh, they like me so much better when I make dinner for them, or they like me so much better when I'm the older responsible sister and I take care of my siblings, right? Oh, they love me so much better when I'm like that A student that nobody ever worries about, which by the way is a true story. That was always the case for me. My parents would always go to the parent-teacher conferences of my brother because he was even repeating 2 grades when he was younger. But when it came to me, they wouldn't even go to the parent-teacher conferences because they would say, oh, Antia is fine, right? So I actually learned like, wow, so the more I perform, the less attention I get. So I also learned to create some trouble for myself, which we can go into in a moment as well, right? But the most important thing is you were actually shamed for focusing on yourself. Now, if you have a narcissistic parent, even worse, because you were probably belittled, you were probably definitely dismissed, potentially even punished or ignored for like being yourself, right? For focusing on yourself, for shining your light. Or your narcissistic parent was saying, well, it's my daughter, right? She has all those awards. She won all those competitions because she is my daughter. So you never really got to own your own success, right? But rather it's just happening because you're an extension of them. So there's really no boundaries. Now, again, you learn to be other focused. And what happens is you need to learn to become self-focused again. Now, in order to do that, you have to understand what happens when you focus on yourself. You attract people into your life who call you selfish, who call you self-centered, who call you potentially even arrogant, right? What do you do with that? Well, what you normally do when we swing on that pendulum, right, is like you make sure that you never be called again selfish, that you're never going to be called self-centered again, right? Or inconsiderate, rude, all those things that go along with being self-focused, right? And that's, of course, the worst thing you can do because now you're selling out on yourself. You're selling out on your truth. And that's exactly what's happening. That's exactly why he left. So now we want to come back to self, focusing on yourself, bringing the attention back to yourself. And asking yourself, how do I feel? Not like how did he feel in the relationship, but did I enjoy myself, right? And also noticing when you're with friends, when you're out at work, with your family, right? Bring the energy back to yourself. Focus on yourself. Ask yourself, what is it that I really want today? What's my goal today? Right? And especially when your friends are so used to that you're making compromises with them, right? That you're giving all your power away, that you're going to the restaurant that you want them to go, that you see the movie that everybody wants to go, that you go on the trip that everybody wants to go on, right? And you're like, yeah, I'm fine, whatever. You know what I mean? It's fine, you know, whatever. And so, no, it's not fine. And it's not whatever, right? Because it really costs you being with this quality man because he also unconsciously tests you, right? If you actually put your foot down, right? So when he leaves you, the most important thing is to not run after him, beg him, right? Like apologize for yourself, but rather focus on yourself, right? Almost like saying, you know what? It's his loss. There's more where this came from. There's many fish in the sea. So you're actually coming from a place of abundance versus scarcity. Now, this is like very powerful because what happens is you become highly magnetic, right? Because remember, what you think, what you say, and what you do is now actually in alignment, right? Give you an example. Met this guy in 2010, which was about 12 years ago now. And he told me, oh, you're so needy, you know, oh my gosh, right? Like, and I said, yes, I am. So you'll be able to advocate for yourself. And then he apologized. He's like, oh, no, just joking. No, I love it. I love it. It's totally great. I love that you're needy. I want to meet your needs, right? So you'll actually develop a champion in a man who was actually resisting you, who was actually pushing you to the side, who was actually disrespecting you and taking you for granted. You now have somebody who cheers you on, who's your biggest supporter, who's your biggest admirer, because he is really saying, wow, she's really in integrity for herself. She has really a healthy relationship with herself. Here's what they don't say. They don't say, well, what a selfish bitch. Now I'm definitely not interested anymore. Right? You have to make compromises in a relationship. A man is not going to say that. Right? He's going to be coming back to you because you create not only intrigue, but you create a state change inside of himself. You create tension, and he wonders, what shifted? Out of the sun, I feel like I do want to reach out to Mary again. I wonder what our Susie is doing. I wonder where Michelle is at right now. And so that's what's going to happen, right? He's actually going to start thinking about you. He's actually start going to miss you. And because you're so in alignment, you become attractive to him again. So try that out and then let me know how that goes. And also let me know in the comment section what reactions helped you to get him back. I'm curious to hear. And if you like to learn how we became multiple six-figure love coaches and how you can as well, click on the link in the description or go to icoachlove.com. And if you haven't done so already, watch next. When a man deeply loves you, he will start saying these 5 things. Lots of love to you, ladies, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye-bye.